Thank you, everyone. So thank you for giving us the honor to present today. We focus on addressing empty container crisis in African ports. We would like to present our platform called Container Linker. And today's presentations has 5 parts. We will talk about the background, environmental, social, financial contributions. Lastly, we will address any potential concerns and conclude. Let's first go into background and platform introduction. From the Logistic Performance Index, we can see the sub-Saharan area suffers low logistic efficiency and below the global average. We interviewed some local business and did some research and identified a key reason is due to empty container crisis. From the chart, we can see empty container intensity in Africa is higher than any other continents. This issue makes African ports suffer more congestion, emits more carbon dioxide, use more energy, and generate more waste. A large amount of empty container accumulated is due to 3 factors. First, trade imbalance. Second, low containerized export. Third, weaker infrastructure. As a result, this empty container crisis not only affects the logistics industry, it also negatively impacts the economy and poses environmental challenges. For example, in economic aspect, the crisis makes logistic costs higher and leads to increase in consumer price. It also reduces the competitiveness of export. In environmental aspect, the crisis increase in energy consumption leads to increase in fuel usage and more carbon emission. It makes the air worse. To mitigate the crisis, we introduce Container Linker. Here is a platform introduction. Container Linker is a platform connecting container supplier and their buyers or renters. It aims at improving container management through accessible technology. Both parties can access the platform using the web or the app. It leverages AI and blockchain technology to offer features such as supply and demand forecasting, smart search matching, secure payment solutions, multilingual customer support. We also leverage Internet of Things to make the whole business process from container posting to after sales transparent and secure. This idea is not novel, and there are similar platforms before, yet they failed. We look into why they struggle and summarize to 3 reasons. First, the lack of transparency in container tracking and transaction. It leads to disputes and reduced trust among all parties. Second, the high cost leads to low user adaptation and reducing scalability. Third, the lack of mature and reliable tech leads to incomplete platform functionality and inefficiency in operation. Container Linker addresses the 3 issues. By adapting cost-effective advanced technology such as AI, IoT, and blockchain, the platform is able to conduct container tracking at scale. It also provides real-time information between ports and improve operation efficiency. There are 2 categories of stakeholders. One is target customers, such as shipping firms, cargo owners, rental firms, etc. We plan to attract them by providing benefits such as offering free trials, early adoption, incentive, etc. Other stakeholders such as government and port operators, we offer them measurable outcomes and detailed plans. We also highlight the opportunity to drive sustainability and innovation. With this improvement, we expect our platform to provide better user experience, such as the platform can provide timely access to container, reducing the port-related charges or penalty, and optimize port efficiency. Next, we move into environmental contributions. Our platform makes contributions in 3 areas. First, it helps reduce carbon emission by matching supply and demand locally, and hence reduce container transportation. Second, it can decrease discard container by encouraging recycling and repurposing for alternative usage. Third, it promotes resource conservation by ensuring active container usages. To quantify the environmental contribution, we make an assumption of 25% improvement in idle container rate, and we have adopted 4 metrics. We expect to lower environmental footprints and see 30% reduce in carbon emission, 20% reduce in pollutants concentration around the port area, 20% decrease in fuel consumption, and 50% decrease in new container demand. For instance, if we can match a container demand locally instead of shipping it all the way to Italy, it can reduce 30% of carbon emission and reduce transportation time. Thank you.
Okay, next we talk about the social contributions. With the platform, we expect 3 social benefits. Firstly, by improving logistic operations, we create more jobs in container management, transportation, and logistic coordination, which lead to increased trade. Then it has workplace safety for workers on site. Finally, with more trade, we can lead to more business opportunity for the local community. To quantify the social contribution, we adapt 5 metrics. We anticipate creating up to 50,000 new jobs at the port and in the local community, enhance workplace safety by cutting incident rates by 15 to 20%, reducing injury rate by 10%, and increasing working satisfaction by 25%. We also estimate this improvement as a whole can generate $50 million in economic impact. Thank you.
Okay, next we're going to discuss the financial justification, and we chose Maersk for case study, and there are 3 reasons why we selected this firm. First, it is an industry leader and it has a huge investment in African ports. Second, it is subject to great repositioning costs, which accounts for up to 30% of their logistic cost. Thus, our platform will be financially relevant to this firm. Third, our project aligns with the interest of their long-run sustainability goal. Okay, so let's continue to look into the firm's current revenue and expense burden related to empty container issue. So first, they have to spend around $1.2 billion on this issue annually for port congestion fee, fuel consumption, and demurrage fee, etc. At the same time, the container supply and demand mismatch, as well as lack of premium service, hurt their trade volume and reduce their revenue opportunity. Overall, the firm has lost great profit due to the empty container issue. So, to quantify the financial contribution of adapting our platform, we estimate up to 10% increase in trade revenue equal to $17 million. Also, we estimate up to 30% reduction in repositioning cost equal to $360 million. However, we acknowledge that there must be platform adoption cost, but we estimate it to be no more than $6 million. Overall, with the increase in revenue, reduction in cost, and then minus the fee for adopting the platform, the firm is estimated to generate $400 million more profit. Thank you.
Okay, so next we will discuss our final section about potential concerns and conclusions. And from previous parts, we know that Container Linker is not just a solution to Africa's empty container crisis, it's also a transformative platform that directly addresses the core challenges of inefficient logistics. So we understand there are still some challenges we are facing, such as inadequate port infrastructure, platform promotion challenges, talent shortages, and also final one, legal and data security risk. However, we have proactively developed clear, actionable strategies to overcome these hurdles. So our mitigation plan includes for first risk, we can implement pilot projects at high traffic ports. And also for second risk, we can simplify the user interface or offer the users free trials to ensure easy adoption. For third one, we can partner with local institutions for workforce training and also leverage remote monitoring technologies. And for final one, we can ensure full compliance with international data security standards or working with governments for transparency. So these efforts will not only enable smooth implementation, but also build trust and long-term commitment from all stakeholders involved. Then we think about our implementation plan. It will proceed through 3 phases. So first, we can have an initial pilot to test the functionality and gather some data, right? And then we can have a regional expansion to scale operations across Africa. And finally, we can have a global rollout to ensure long-term sustainability and explore new revenue streams. So finally, about our conclusion, we think we are confident that Contain Linker is the right solution to transform Africa's empty container crisis into an opportunity for sustainable innovation by leveraging cutting-edge technology and strategic partnerships. So thank you for listening. If you have any questions, please ask us.
Thank you, group. Great job. So we'll now go to the question period. So I'll be asking the judges now if
No, I have no question. Thank you for very interesting presentation. It was really very interesting.
Thank you. And Irakli, do you have any questions?
Yes. First of all, again, thank you very much for your best effort to present the very burning case, by the way, and the actual case which we have in Africa continent. You have mentioned about the empty containers the crisis, right? And you perfectly highlight the reason behind of that. One of the reasons you mentioned was the trade imbalance, right? In that case, we're talking about the conditions when the import exceeding the export flow or vice versa. So in that sense, I do believe that the import is a dominant versus the export, right? So in that case, did you have a chance to analyze the case from the angle when the import flow and the import revenue can substitute the less export, including the empty evacuation cost? Can this kind of approach be the solution for Africa case? Did you have a chance to analyze from that perspective? If it's not clear, let me give you the very quick example. For instance, if you are fixing the rate from China to Africa by $1,000 USD, but in this $1,000 USD, you are considering, for instance, $300 USD as a cost for empty evacuation for the export flow. Can this kind of combination be the solution, one of the solution for sure, to mitigate the balance between the import and export flows?
Oh, I think your question is about how we're gonna explore the issues, behind the trade imbalance, isn't it? The trade imbalance thing in Africa. Oh, okay.
Correct.
So thank you for your question. I think it is a very good solution because it actually solved the problem from the very beginning. From the very beginning of the reason. I think it is very important. So currently We haven't focused on this issue because we assume we're gonna base on the phenomenon now, and then we're gonna proceed how to solve it. So yeah, but it is a very good point, and yeah, we're gonna explore it further on this issue. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank
Maybe
you.
I can add a bit on this. Yeah, it's like
Yeah, please.
the trade imbalance is not something like we can make a platform and then we can fix this trade imbalance issue. However, we try to, it is kind of, and then it generate the issue of empty container. And as you have mentioned, it actually increased the shipping cost from China to Africa, like 30% of the fee is already have to like price in the empty container issue. And this platform, actually, we want to offer an alternative usage. Not on the container may not be only using it for export. Because there's not enough exports from Africa, and then we hope that the buyer or the renter of the container, they can use it for other usage locally. For example, for the construction company, they can use the container for temporary storage purpose or temporary housing purpose, something like that, or shipping it to the other port. And then it will still reduce the empty container issue in Africa. But it's like the trade imbalance is a really macro issue that it have to be addressed in a higher level. So at our level, we still more focusing on how to reduce the empty container accumulated in African ports.
Mhm.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, group, very much. And that's the conclusion. Thank you. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Right.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Good
for
luck.
giving us
Good luck.
opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.